please. You'll have to click on that button for me, please. Look at you, professional.
All right, let's pray. Father God, we're so thankful that we can gather here today, and we just, Lord, lift up our city. God, I pray right now for the council members, the mayor, and everyone who just represents a seat in this room tonight. I pray, God, that our hearts and our minds can come together. And ultimately, Lord, we remind ourselves that we represent you, a God of freedom and of peace. Lord, I just pray for dreams in this room. I pray, God, that we would pursue you and that we would lift you up and honor you in all that we do. I pray, God, for wisdom for our leaders, that they'd have the wisdom to know exactly how to balance, God, growth and yet still sticking to tradition and the heart of the city. I pray, God, that you would reach out to our children, that our children's children's children would have a city to grow up in that would be better than what we have today, that we would leave a legacy behind that would impact generations to come, that we would have a heart as a people and as a city to just leave where we're at better than how we found it. So I pray, God, today for wisdom for our leaders to do these things, and ultimately that all that we do, we just honor you and we glorify you. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
EJ, thank you so much. Absolutely. Very good job. All right, I need a roll call. Miss Brenda.
Bonnie? Here. Fred?
Here.
Jennifer?
Here.
Rob?
Here.
Faith?
Here.
All right, and just so you all know, Mike's not here today, so just keep me in your prayers, and like I said, we'll keep moving along here a little bit, all right? And I appreciate that. First of all, thanks for everybody to be here. I do want to make sure for everybody here, I appreciate you being here. Obviously, we've got a process we're going through, but there's no more public meeting for anybody, but we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. Even Larry. All right, I always got to pick on you, Larry, since you're up front right there. I mean, you're next to Tom, and that's exactly my strategy. That's exactly my strategy. All right, no worries. I need a motion. Motion by Rob. Second
Second.
by Faith on approval for the meetings from last meeting, please.
All right. Bonnie?
Yes.
Faith?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you all, council. All right, so EJ, you were just up here. Come up here as EJ comes back up here, one of the things I want you all to know, there are a number of things, we've got a lot of things going on in the city, but I want you to know who he is because he's been very involved. His church has been very involved in the community, getting people to do things. We've been doing things in the park, working through the elementary schools, looking for a location to have a church here in Shepherdsville, and we're excited about that part. But why don't you go ahead and tell us a few things?
Thank you, Mayor. So I just wanted to kind of update everybody that the Lord just keeps blessing the church, and we're moving a second location to here to Shepherdsville. And so currently we're going to be renting out Paracut Springs Conference Center, and so that's pretty exciting for us. Hey, it's right here in the heart of where everybody's at. We've been having events the last 2 months, and so you say, why are we doing events? We're just trying to create community and social events just free for the area. And so then last Thursday we had like a disco bingo night, which was pretty fun. Gave out some prizes, just gathered people together. And we had 3 or 4 families that were able to walk over. And so just had appreciated the night to come together and to do that. The month before we did a trivia night, which Mayor was able to come and be part of.
We won the first game.
You won a game?
Our team was that good. What's
yeah,
that?
Yeah, Miss Courtney struggled just a little bit. I will say the Bible trivia, I was a little disappointed in everybody, how poorly they did in Bible trivia.
We need to practice. We need to practice.
You had the pop culture going really well. You knew all the singers, but poor Jesus didn't get a lot of love that night. So, but we're having this great time. And honestly, I think that's the heart. We don't want to be a church that's just in the community. We want to be part of the community. We want to help and feedback. We've got teachers and principals and board officials. And we want to be a church. I think several years ago, my thought was, if Field of Grace disappeared, would Shepherdsville, would Bullitt County even know it? And I want to be a church that when we leave, if we had to leave or something happened, that people would be impacted by it. I want to touch the hearts. And I think more than that, I wasn't always in church. And so I was raised, my dad owned bars. My mom was a drug addict. And at 23 years old, I got saved. And so I kind of represent the unchurched, that church. People can be weird in church, but just because you go to church doesn't mean you're weird. They were weird before they ever came to church. And so I want to be a church for normal people, that we can gather together and just share the love of Jesus. And hey, if you've never been to church before, we're a church that you can gather and do that. So I'm excited. August, we're doing our Heart to City event again. There will be one change to that. Instead of being a 5-day-long event, we're going to do every Saturday in August. Our hope is that it won't just be a Field of Grace thing, that it's a community-wide event. So we're going to really organize outreach, different activities, clean the park up. By then, the aquatic centers will be open, so maybe we can do a sponsored event at the aquatic center. Whatever that might look like, we're just trying to make sure every Saturday in August, as a community, we gather back together and just do something to better our city, and then just kind of get people together. And so just want to kind of keep you on the loop with that. Be praying for us. We are doing a Easter event at Paraquet Springs. So Good Friday and Easter, our church will gather together, one service at Paraquet. Good Friday, 7 o'clock, and then Easter Sunday at 10:30. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City.
Before you go, so if you want to raise money, you go down one of the 26-foot slides. I'll go down the other one, and we'll see if we can raise some money.
Let's do it.
All right, and then also too, I
Yeah,
want you all to
costume.
know, we had our Easter event this
Oh, yeah, it
last
was
weekend.
great.
And we had over 700 kids that were enrolled in this. It was really, really cool. Obviously, Field of Grace, other churches with us did a great job. We had Gary from First Financial.
Yeah, First
and then
Financial,
obviously
Journey.
Amber,
Yeah,
and Journey,
yeah,
Jeremy.
they're all great.
They did a great job. It was fun with the kids, and it was a lot of families out there. And that's the stuff that matters. Having a community where you can have these things instead of going somewhere else. You don't need to go, and not mean to Mount Washington or E-Town or Louisville. We have things here for our families to do, and that's really what we focused on. So it was a great event. Thank you for what you guys do. Looking forward to everything this summer and in the fall.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, EJ.
I want to see him go down that slide. I am head first. All right. It's on video, so we now know he's going to do it. Come on up here, Ms. Courtney Burden. Our economic advisor is going to give you an update of what's been going on the last few months.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ms. Moore.
I want to give a quick update on a couple of things, bright highlights across industrial growth, business activity, residential, tourism, community, and then a couple of other workforce things we have going on. Industrial development, just a couple of updates. We are engaging with a couple of pilot relationships, and we are working with Kentuckiana Works and our industrial groups, something called 502 Commute. So basically what we're identifying are people who need help with transportation to and from work, and how do we logistically address that. So Kentuckiana Works is coming in with the vehicle. We are trying to identify employers and spots that we can help people get to and from work, maybe in a place of employment they wouldn't have access to otherwise. So that this is in its infancy, but what we are trying to do, identify some drop spots where folks can come to and from Louisville to get here, to get to employers, come to and from other parts of the city and the county and get here to the employers. So that's exciting, and it's new, and it's just something that we're gonna continue to move through, but I feel like it's extremely important to know because we are tracking 250-ish jobs, that's a minimum, over the next 24 months. These jobs are coming from manufacturing, hospitality, and logistics. So, there's a couple that, just the hotel coming here, and then there's a couple of expansions happening in the industrial park. So as we continue to see small businesses, large businesses, and then some of our industrial partnerships, as those grow, so will the employment needs, which will further the requirement for some help in being creative with getting our employees back and forth. Another quick industrial update. We're really leaning in and trying to gauge with the industrial parks. And one of those examples is Amazon. We continue to work with Amazon. Amazon is a multifaceted presence in the industrial park. So one group that came out and supported an event I'm going to talk about a little bit, the Amazon Warriors. And so basically those are folks that are military affiliated. They are just a very supportive group of people, and they came out and supported an Active Hero event. But that's just an example of the partnership that's going above and beyond a donation or a sponsorship. They physically came out and volunteered their time, and that meant a lot to our group. So industrial momentum remains a key driver for our city, and it also establishes long-term stability in the name of economic growth. The Bullitt County Chamber of Commerce, it's continuing to lead a couple big initiatives that will impact our economy. One is Chambers United for Veterans. Right now there are 8 chambers in the state that are partnering together, and they are promoting if you are a veteran-owned business, if you are a veteran-led business, if your business works with veterans, you are in this space where every 8 chambers together, I believe last time there were 75 people, and we're all thinking about how can we help each other, how can we help veterans, how can we grow each other's businesses. It was amazing networking, very, very helpful. And then something else within the business community that the chamber's reaching out to the youth in our school systems, and they identify some of the young leaders, and then they're bringing them out of the school a couple of times, I think it's once a month, and they're giving them opportunities to mentor with entrepreneurs, people that are in government, just lots of different areas of employment. So they have these career paths that they learn and they get to be a part of in school. But I think it's amazing that these kids get to be out of school and see in day-to-day how these things work. So the people who are really going above and beyond get a chance to observe what it looks like in day-to-day. Yes,
I
sir.
just want to add the BCATC. Went over there last Thursday. It is phenomenal what these kids are doing. I mean, mechanical, they're doing construction work. It was
Aviation.
amazing. I mean, aviation. I mean, it was amazing to sit with the principal and talk to the kids. One of the girls that does the welding is building 2 bike racks for the park.
Yep.
I mean, they're heavy duty. This is not like the ones you see now. This is really gonna be cool that she's gonna have 2 of those in there. And obviously, we have the picnic table that's set for disabled folks to sit at in the park. So these kids are doing a good job. I really like that because what we're trying to do is to coordinate those folks of vocation with the industrial piece and any of the other business. People always look for electricians and plumbers. We think a lot of times we send our kids to college, and is that really what they need to be doing? A lot of these kids, after 5 years, an apprentice are making $85,000 and $90,000 a year. Let's get them good jobs, and that's part of what our focus is, and working with the school system as well, so.
Yes, not to get carried away, but when you look at what's happening with trades and college education and the need for what we're gonna have as far as workforce development, trades are gonna rule the world here very, very shortly, and I'm so proud of Bullitt County and the school systems that we have right now. Those career paths, they are so focused. The woodworking, the electricians, the aviation is another, I mean, mechanics, those are all, our kids are graduating with skill sets that truly put them in a successful position, and I appreciate the Bullitt County School System for doing that. In the residential development and housing, I just want to keep on reminding everybody, projects like Bratcher Estates, Helen Heights, they're progressing and they are going to continue to offer some of our most needed, the things that we keep hearing about, which is housing. We're working on that. Next up is tourism. Proudly reporting that we had an Bataan Memorial March, and if you're not familiar with the Bataan Death March, you should look it up, because World War II is devastating in so many ways, and this is one of the saddest stories you'll read. And active heroes, we remember those that fell during the Bataan March, and we had 95 JROTC cadets come from outside of Bullitt County to come to Active Heroes, and they marched 14 and 7 miles with 35-pound rucks on their back. So when I tell you these kids are plugged in and they were honoring the fallen by carrying on, it was pretty remarkable. But the tourism impact in that of our community, bringing these people in from other counties to participate. Breckenridge County, when you have a school bus full of kids and adults coming in from Breckenridge County, Franklin County, and we're showing off one of our most beautiful assets. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated in that. And then coming up is another military-related event that's bringing folks in from Bullitt, Hardin, Jefferson, Spencer, and Nelson County. The Vietnam Veterans Day Parade, our Welcome Home Parade, will be this Saturday, the 28th, and we are going to start at Bullitt Lick at 11 o'clock. So please, if you are so inclined, show up and down the streets of Buckman and be ready to wave a flag and maybe make a sign that says Welcome Home. We have 75 Vietnam veterans that will be either remembered or participating in this parade. It's phenomenal. It is one of the best things that we do all year. It's powerful. Please bring your children, your grandchildren. Come. It is worth the time. So if you have any questions about that event, let me know. But these events just strengthen our community. It strengthens just our place in the region. It's putting us on the map to know that we are not just a truck stop. We have so many things to offer. We have beautiful shops. We have amazing places like the everything that's going on with our city park, Active Heroes. There's so many ways that tourism can benefit from us putting our minds together and creating these wonderful events. A couple of other things to note. We are working on infrastructure. The best thing we can do is have a process and a plan. No one disagrees the traffic is terrible, but what we need to all understand is who's in control of what. So what we're trying to offer is education and information. So I challenge you to pay attention to the road, the street. We are creating a map, and it is going to be a map of our town so you can see. When you look at this map, you'll be able to identify by the color, is this a city-owned and maintained road or street? Is it a state-owned and maintained? Is it a federal? Because I assure you, we can't control what's going on in 65. We can't control, there are certain things the city can control and there's certain things that we can't. So what we're trying to do is make sure everyone understands who owns the road that you're complaining about. Most importantly, who do you need to complain to? If you have a question or if you have a concern, we want to provide you with the appropriate information. Cut through the red tape, get to the right person, and let your voice be heard. So let's all be on board with creating a process and a protocol. Before we just blast everybody under the sun, please make sure you understand who are you even complaining to and what are you complaining about. Let's get this information so we can, there's power in numbers. If we are consistently sending our information and sending our concerns, then we will get a better response. So I appreciate the mayor really trying to organize how we are communicating with whom when it's outside of the city's control. Let's band together and really let our voice be heard because we're going to get organized and be consistent with how we're reaching out. Is that a fair?
Yeah, and what, two things. First of all, and I get it, when people say, you know, you're doing this, but what about roads? Well, what roads? And I think
Right.
that the important thing is, we are gonna put something simple out there by just letting you see the signs. That'll get, the signs are actually, if you look at a sign that's white with black numbers on it, that's a state road. And you'll see them everywhere. When you see that, then what we're trying to do, and I think part of the thing is, Courtney and I have talked about this before, it's real important. We've spent a lot of years not doing this. We've been in office just a little over 3 years. And in these 3 years, we've reached out to everybody in Frankfurt. We're saying, you need to think about us, because if you guys don't know it, we're in the top 5 fastest growing counties out of the 120. And we lack the infrastructure. We don't, I mean, we're looking at things like we talked before, the 119, but more importantly, where's that conversation? Because every bit of this, if you look at Preston, how long did it take to get that done? 20 years, right? Getting out something like that, it's been a while, right? It was all in conversation. I think we all know that. So what we're doing is probably gonna be more for our kids and grandkids, but
Right.
we can't keep waiting. We gotta start talking about these things and start having a dialogue with the people that actually can give us that money. We probably need about $250, $300 million over the next 5 years to get the things we need done. And we need another road over Salt River.
Oh, for sure.
On the east side, we need another place to get out for emergency purposes alone. But anyway, but I think that's a big thing. I think trying to educate the public as to what roads and who you need to contact will help us, because you all know squeaky wheel gets the oil. And we want to be the squeaky oil, the squeaky wheel, or the squeaky oil too. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, in closing, I just want to say, we're really trying to promote to our residents, we want you to live here, work here, and play here. And we need to have options for all of those. Because as the pastor was saying, for our younger couples coming in, raising families, we want them to stay here, and we want them to raise their children to stay here. And the way we do that is offering a place to enjoy an ice cream scoop, a place to swim, a place to walk and enjoy the park and enjoy a playground. So I just ask that you join us in educating yourself, your neighbors, your friends and family, who owns the roads? What are the positive things going on? Because make no mistake, I'm 48 years old, and I've lived here since I was a baby, other than the 6 years serving in the military. There's never been a time I've been more proud to be from Shepherdsville. There's never been a time where it's prettier. We are getting positive attention. And so let us not get in our own way. Let us not understand where we are and make sure we have a goal to get to something that we want. I want my kids to stay here. I want my grandkids to be here. So I just ask, lean in a little bit, ask some questions, and then share that with your friends and family. Any questions? I hope I
Courtney,
see you
thank
all
you.
at the park. It's gonna be an amazing day for the parade and then the cookout after.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Courtney.
All right, the next one on the staff, Miss Sam Satterley, come on up here. And if you didn't know who she was at the Easter event, she had the butterfly on her face. Just in case they didn't know which one you were. Hi, Sam.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I just wanted to provide a quick update on some of the exciting things coming out of the Parks and Rec Department. First and foremost, baseball and t-ball right around the corner. Right now, the teams are practicing, and we're working with Tommy, the gentleman that heads up the league, to figure out some kind of fun opening day event for the kiddos, maybe a cookout, possibly a parade. Sorry,
A
Chief.
5-mile parade, chief.
While we're on the topic of the baseball fields, I do want to give a shout out to Scotty Smothers. He's our new-ish Parks and Rec Assistant Director, and he has been working his tail off to get those fields ready for the spring season. So huge thank you to Scotty. Next, we are working on getting the back nine of the disc golf course installed in the city park, which of course would complete the course. We're hoping, fingers crossed, the next 2 months that should be done. We also have some new shade features for the skate park. We're gonna wrap that up, that whole project. We are also gonna be installing some grills and some hot coal bins in the city park, just in time for the warm weather. Also, in case you're unaware, we have assumed responsibility for the community center. Scotty and I have been making some small upgrades to the facility, so I hope each of you has an opportunity to check it out, enjoy it. I'm happy to do a walkthrough with you. If you ever want to, just reach out to me. The space is available for small parties, gatherings, events. Max capacity on the facility is 200 people. Finally, I've been heading up the Brownfield property remediation and redevelopment project for the properties we own on North Buckman / Preston Highway. Right now, we're waiting for additional soil and groundwater tests to come back. But in the meantime, I'm going to be meeting with one of the art classes at Bullitt Central next week to do kind of a brainstorming visioning session with the art students there, so I'll provide an update on that as well. All of that to say, I would like to bring a few more employees on board to the Parks and Rec Department. Obviously, with your blessing, that would involve an amendment to Section 3A of Ordinance 025-038 as it pertains to positions, base pay rates, and the authorized staffing level. The two positions that I would like to add are an operations or administrative assistant, and then a seasonal parks worker. So the operations assistant, that would be just an administrative support role. Scotty and I, unfortunately, are tied to our computers nonstop, so this would really, really help us out to be able to be more hands-on and out in the park. And then obviously we would like to get a seasonal, parks maintenance employee, especially once the summer kicks up. That's definitely gonna be our busy season. I've already confirmed with our finance department, this is possible. I've planned for it for the next fiscal year budget. I'm going to be sending out an email for you all in the morning formally requesting this amendment. I'm gonna attach I know it's not required, but I'm gonna include the job descriptions as well, just to give a clear picture of what I need and what I'm asking for. So I would greatly appreciate your support in that, and I'm happy to answer any questions you
I
might
have
have.
some questions.
Sure.
Are you wanting to hire them starting in July for that budget, or are you wanting them now?
So we've talked about that, and I think it would make more sense. It would be less convoluted to wait until the budget flips, because right now Parks and Rec, as you know, falls under Public Works.
Right.
So I think it would make more sense, it would be easier to wait for us to split off.
So I do want to answer that a little bit though, because we don't really know how busy. We got 2 playgrounds in the park. We got, 5K, we got disc golf. There's going to be a lot going on in that area, as well as the new town square. We never had a town square, so now we have places to put on events. We're going to need that help. I would tell you right now, the operation looks really good. If you look at the budget, we're really doing well on that. So I'm going to say yes, that she's got money in Public Works. We can use that.
So, as this is gonna keep growing this year, I would suggest that we don't have to hire now, but put in a description for a full-time parts maintenance
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to do it again, because I'm sure before we get out of this season, you're going to need one.
Yes,
I-
absolutely.
Again, on that too, also, one of the things, just so you all know, we do this seasonal piece because it. No. So the biggest piece in that is that we use the seasonal is if they turn out really well, we keep them on full-time. That's what our goal is. That's why seasonal does work. I mean, they're on probation for a year anyway, but we really wanna try to do it. But I have no problem. I think that's a good idea. I can tell you, I'm really concerned. I think we're gonna be coming back to you even after we get started next
And I
year's
would
budget.
work that into the budget for more than what she needs.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty step, but again, we'll look at it. We'll take a look at it, because you guys are getting budgets first week of, April, like April 6th. You'll get them for like 7 weeks to have them for you
I
guys.
got a feeling we're gonna be really busy this year.
I think we are too.
Me too. Me
Bonnie,
too.
there is a parks worker 1 and 2 level that you all created, but authorized 0 for.
Right.
So we
So
we
So
wanna
you need to
staff-
look at
yeah,
those.
Staff it, add it. We
you do not have a position for operations assistant or the seasonal.
She wants that person to help them with the, especially doing all the computer
Okay,
stuff. and
so
let them
we'll
do-
need to put money on the ones that we have in there, on
So right now-
what their ratings are.
Yeah, so right now what they have is 3 and a seasonal. We'll just add another one we'll just add another full-time.
Right.
We'll do.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I was just gonna say, thank you for everything. We got a lot going on. One of the things too that we have kind of put on the back burner, but Station 2, on Cedar Grove has a pond back there. We're looking for some money, and hopefully, as we continue to look at things we do, we wanna make that a free fishing pond for the kiddos. Just go back here behind Station 2 and just fish, no charge.
If you
And keep it
remember,
stacked.
I actually applied for that. It's a recreational trails program grant. I applied for that last year. I have been poking, the Department of Local Government. That's the entity that decides who gets those grants. Apparently, they're just very, very behind. But I can be a squeaky wheel, so.
Squeaky wheel do it.
We
All right.
will keep you posted on that.
I think it's really cool, because, kids that don't play sports, fishing is a great thing. We like we see the skateboarding, they love it out here, so it's kind of a good thing. So we want kids to do everything they can do to stay busy and have some fun. But thank you for all you're doing. This is gonna be great. We are gonna be very busy, so you do have roller skates on, right? All right,
Thank you,
all
Sam.
right, thank you. Oh, Rob wants to,
Well,
do
I was
you
just
have a
gonna ask,
question
can we
for
go ahead and make a motion to add the 2 positions and set them to 0?
we can, I mean, so we
It's gotta be done by ordinance.
got an ordinance.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, worries.
Never mind.
We'll get it done
But
though.
if you would like to sponsor
You
the
wanna sponsor
ordinance,
it, Rob?
Rob,
You wanna sponsor it?
Sure.
All right,
I
what's on?
can, and we can go
Rob
ahead and
Adams.
even have a reading. I can make it, instead of effective upon publication, we can make it effective July 1st, or whenever that budget starts, if that's what.
Yeah, but we'll have, I know that we have money in Public Works to be able to give her some help before July 1st. So we know we've got some money in there. that
Well,
we'll-
you've gotta develop the position and the job description first.
No, but what we're doing, no, so we're just taking right now, we use Public Works to do that, they're working together.
Right.
So all they're gonna do is basically clean up stuff like that, but anything else that's more detailed, you're right, it starts July 1st.
I'm talking about the admin position, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've gotta get you all that. But anyway, I just wanted you to know, cause like I said, it's just really new to us to have so many different things, different projects we got going. We wanna make sure they're taken care of, so when you come in there, it looks nice. Grass is cut, things are picked up, so every time you come into there, you'll see it, so. And one of the things, if you haven't seen, we cleared out by Salt River. So if you walk in the park now, you can see the river. It's really cool looking. And I think it's really nice. It's a nice addition to the community. All right, not least, but he is last. John Casey, come on up here. You gotta push that button when you come up here, sir. I'll let John explain to you who he is and what he does, and it's a good program, good concept. John, how are you? If you'll touch that button on the top, there should turn green. There you go.
Start off with, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, sir.
And thank all y'all for what y'all do down here in Shepherdsville, because I do live in the northern part of the county, and everybody up there is talking about down here. I wish we had more room up there to do what y'all do down here. Just keep doing your good work. So, my name's John Casey. I'm the owner and the founder for Ride Right Out Breast Cancer. We are a nonprofit organization that's in the county. I do run a nonprofit gaming casino. Gotta be careful how I say that, but that's kind of where it's at. In the northern part up here in Hillview, in the Maryville Shopping Center, that helps cancer patients, dialysis, our elderly, our special needs, our kids that can't afford sports at schools, and a few other little programs. Me being a 2-time cancer survivor myself, going to the doctors. You hear all the time about somebody got fired because they had to take grandma or mom or dad to the doctor. They got rolled up, they got suspended. TARP didn't show up, Uber didn't show up. So I told the wife a couple years ago, I said, I want to do something to help change our community. She thought I was crazy. So, guess it was about 3 months ago, we went and purchased a van. That van actually takes people back and forth to the doctors. I don't care if it's cancer, OBGYN, doctor's appointment, dialysis, whatever. You gotta go to the doctor. This is a free service that we give to our community. That was 3 months ago. I just purchased the third van Saturday. 2 vans are just regular vans. The van I purchased Saturday is a wheelchair accessible van. And we are looking to purchase another one next week. That's 4 vans and a pickup truck that we have in this community that we will take people back and forth. I don't care if you gotta go to E-Town, I don't care if you gotta go to Indy, I don't care if you gotta go to Cincy, you gotta go to Nashville. I've done it. And it's a free charge. Don't charge nobody nothing. Because here's what I've come to find out on top of a lot of stuff. Who can afford it? Bottom line. Who really can afford to go from Bullock County into Louisville on an Uber that's probably not gonna come pick you up? And I say that, and I really and truly mean that, because I hear it all the time from people that we pick up in the community say that, you know, we call Uber and it's $75 one way from Bullock County into Jewish Hospital, Bullock County into Suburban. I mean, it is what it is. This is a free service that I charge nothing. And the people we're helping now are very blessed in what we do. The casino, charitable gaming, helps 300 families a month with utilities. We're helping 10 families a week with free service right now. And I suspect that probably to grow a bunch more. And I don't look for, you know, if you want to give me a donation, give me a donation, but I'm not going out and begging for money or pleading for money, because what I have up there has actually done exactly what I wanted to do. And we're doing some things a little different. We have a white pickup truck that's done up in the charitable gaming logo. We have a black Dodge that's done up in breast cancer. We have a black Kia that's sitting out here in the parking lot right now. And I know this is very touching, but everybody knows Beckham. If you walk outside right now, you'll walk out there and see that black Kia is done in memory of Beckham from Mount Washington. The next van I got that's sitting in my driveway right now, I'm waiting to get the paperwork on so I can get the insurance and get it licensed. Everybody remember Jesse Schott? ROTC, right? Brain cancer's great, right? That van's gonna be done in gray camo with Jesse's name on it. And as we go, I'm changing things up, and I've never done this in the 15 years I have this organization. It's always been pink and purple. Colors are changing because I want everybody to understand we're not just about breast cancer, we're about cancer. I'm a 2-time stage 4 follicular lymphoma, which is my lymph nodes, my bones, and my blood. I go tomorrow for a checkup on my CT, as a matter of fact. So as I hear all this stuff and I go to the doctors, I want to give back. We don't have this service in the community, do we? Anybody know of anything? I don't know nothing. I start at 5 a.m. in the morning and go till whenever. And we're all volunteer based. I have
John,
6 drivers.
You want to tell me your board members? Who are they?
Huh?
What's significant about your board members?
Well, that's a little changed a little bit.
Okay.
But
it used to be all cancer survivors. And things have happened and whatever, but needless to say, it's families that's been caught up with cancer and so on and so forth. I wish I could still say that because that meant a lot to me. But there is a few of us that are cancer survivors that actually do it. But we're all volunteer-based and we're all here to help. I'm in Shepherdsville every day of the week. I'm at Brown Cancer Center every day of the week. I'm at Norton's at Floyd and Broadway every day of the week. We're at dialysis places all over the city of Louisville, right here in Shepherdsville, every day of the week. So I want everybody to understand and know that if you know somebody, send them our way. Because there's really no paperwork on that, because here's the way I look at it. Why do I gotta do paperwork for if you gotta go to the doctor? It's not Medicaid or Medicare based. So I've fully insured. I never thought the commercial insurance would be so daggone high, but it is. But it takes care of everybody. So, and I do have a few people in the room that support us, that come up to my center, and they know what we do, so they can actually vouch for it. But that's what we do, that's what we're gonna continue to do, and I said 5 in the fleet. I don't think 5's gonna make it.
John, I met you 4 years ago, okay? And I met you, we were at Cabanas, doing your
Yep.
Queen of Hearts.
Yes,
And
sir.
I do think the one thing that I've learned is to see them actually help people that are struggling. Because once you have cancer, you've got so many things going on. And one of the things that you tend to forget is the financial piece.
Yes.
You're all tied up in emotions. You got a loved one that's actually seriously in a bad spot. You don't want to worry about money.
Last thing to think about.
That's right, but it's what this guy does, who tries to help you out, but just with utilities, just getting you some food. I mean, it's just even making the run to get it. I mean, just there's so many little things like that, and that's what we appreciate from John in the last 4 years that I've known him. And obviously, he's grown a lot more of that with the vehicles, and I think that's a big deal. Having transportation, you know, we were talking about that earlier with Courtney, but I think transportation is an integral part of whether it's a health issue or whether it's just getting to a job. So, John, listen, I really appreciate all that you've done. And you do it for the county. That's why it's not, he was here for 2 years, now he's up there. That's okay. Wherever he's at, he's in the county. So if you do have somebody that needs a little help, please reach out to Riot Cancer.
And that even goes as far as veterans too. I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm saying there's so much that's come together over this. I go home and I don't sleep a lot because my mind is running and constantly going. I'm trying to figure out to put the pieces together to make this all happen. But to have the 4 vehicles we have right now, and about to add another one next week, is just, it's unbelievable to be able to give back to this community.
You're doing a good job of that, John, and we're glad to have you here. We'd like to do an update maybe later in the year.
Oh, yeah.
You keep us up with stuff. Maybe then you'll have 8 vehicles, right?
Huh?
You'll have 8 vehicles.
Oh, bigger plans than that.
All right, all right. Well, listen, thank you for being here, John.
I appreciate y'all, thank you.
Thank you, John.
All right, I'm gonna let you take care of that part coming up here since we're gonna do new business. So before Catherine starts here real quick, I just want you all to know, I want just a reminder about Saturday. Just so you know, a couple years ago, we had the wall here. We had a replica of the wall, the Vietnam Wall, 380 feet. We had it in the park. And it goes back to telling all about our veterans. We have over about 1,200 veterans, I think, in this gentleman up here too. So I want you all to know that that was a big deal when we had the wall here. But that's how that parade started. And we're gonna do that parade. It's kinda like the World War II veterans. You know, they're diminishing. It's happening the same thing with veterans. I mean, my dad, if he was still alive today, would be 86. So you do realize that that's a group that's getting, but you know, I had somebody reach out to me and said, hey, how about, you know, like Gulf War? That's coming, we're gonna do that. But as far as the memorial, keeping up the banners of all the soldiers, we're gonna keep them up till November. So we'll be putting them all over the city. So it's all local veterans, all banners everywhere. But right now the focus is this Saturday is Vietnam Veterans Parade. So appreciate you coming out there because we live in a great country because of our veterans. And that's, I thank all of you that are veterans. We appreciate that. All right, Ms. Catherine?
So before we get to reading of the ordinances, council, Mr. Baker had reached out to me. He is the attorney representing the applicants. And I'll have him come up here and briefly explain, but he is asking that, I guess you guys reopen the hearing, essentially have for lack of a better word, another hearing. So I'll let Mr. Baker come up briefly. He's not going to get into the facts. He's just going to give a general reason as to why he is making that request.
Thank you, and Mayor Cabero and members, city council members. My name is John Baker, a land use attorney here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, here on behalf of Roebling. And in conversation with the city attorney, we believe we've identified factual inaccuracies and also some findings that are not based on the administrative record as it's constituted currently. And in speaking with Catherine, she said the way to address that would be to ask this council to reopen the hearing to address those deficiencies or file suit in Bullitt Circuit Court. And I wanted to avail myself of this opportunity to ask the council for that opportunity to address those inaccuracies and deficiencies. We know we're at your mercy and at your request, so I'm just before you making that request. And that's all I have to say. Be very brief. So thank you for the time to do that.
And to clarify, I don't know what those are. We did not, that would be why we would be opening that
We're not discussing.
record. That's why he's wanting the rehearing, so that we could get into that. I do not know. When he says he discussed it with me, that's
Right.
the limit of our conversation, so I don't even know. That's why he is asking for it. That's when we would get in. The whole reason we would have another hearing is so that we could put in that notice. I mean, I know a lot of people are here, but there might be some other people that would like to be here if they know that they could. Because when we reopen it, they will also be able to speak. So there might other be people, and so to make sure that everyone has their due process, we would advertise it. We would still be within the 90 days. We'd be able to, so just to confirm that, Brenda would get the notice out. It would go in the paper next Thursday. The hearing would be on the April 13th meeting. We could either do a first reading after that meeting, or we could wait, but we would all still be within the 90 days. We would still have time before the 90-day deadline hit. So I just wanted to at least answer those questions.
So we would need a motion either way.
Question, this coming up, is this based on what we've got in here right now?
Yes.
So they're threatening lawsuit over what we've got in here?
Well, I wouldn't say,
No.
I don't want to speak for Mr. Baker, but I would
Well,
say
I mean, that's what it
threatening-
sounds like
I
when you
would
say
they're
that.
threatening lawsuit. Their only recourse
Yeah, that's
to
our only
address
options.
and come before and say, hey, we think number 5 in your findings of fact is incorrect, and here's why. The only way they can state that and go into detail is if we have another hearing, or if they were file, it's not really a lawsuit, an appeal, that's what it's technically called, at the Court of Appeal.
There's a
at the
process.
Circuit Court.
So-
Okay,
So.
That
he's
sounds
not-
better.
It's an appeal, it's not really a lawsuit, no, they wouldn't be asking for money damages, they would just be asking, hey court, they got this wrong. The only way he can address those issues is if we reopen it, so that is, or if they appeal it, and that is what he is asking for.
So there are two options of those two. So what he's asking is that you make a motion either to no to do it or yes to do it, and then you vote. And then if you say no, it proceeds on the first reading and moving forward to next week. Or if you say yes, then they get a chance to, we start again with you guys doing what you did.
I make a motion for no.
I'll back that. Second it.
Hang on, do we need to, we got a motion, you're gonna second it?
Take
Okay.
this, all right.
I thought you were voting, I was like,
No. So Bonnie's the first motion to no,
To deny.
to deny.
A motion to not open.
Yes, so it
Correct.
was not to open up and hear their facts on what they've heard.
So if we did have another hearing, we've got enough time to have a hearing and then 2 more readings.
correct.
Yes.
Would the first reading have to be on the?
Nope, it would not. I've checked the calendar 3 times just to make sure, because that is very important.
But we have to go through
All this
this
again.
whole thing again.
I feel like we had our
I
5 in the
think,
5s already, and he should have too.
What I would say is, I don't know that you have to, I think it would be a little different in that the evidence that would be presented would be more geared towards specifically why certain findings of fact they are saying either are factually inaccurate or are not supported by the record or whichever. They would be addressing more specifically that versus
The whole thing
just
again.
the whole thing. But you're right, I mean, obviously they could then
Both sides get to speak.
both sides can speak.
Well,
So
well, I'll tell
I
you
get it,
that,
but the due process is very important, and so we're following.
It'll be up to
Because let me
them
tell you
to-
what's happened in the past. What's happened in the past is they've been able to come and speak, and you all haven't even known. And so we definitely don't want that to happen. I will also say that some people had given them documents, and I did take those documents. So they've not been able to review that. It was again outside the hearing time. If we do have a hearing, those documents would be provided to them and would be provided to Mr. Baker. So I know 2 people had given them documents. I do know that they had somewhat been referenced at the first hearing, but they were presented outside of that. So just so you know.
We already have our motion in second.
Yep.
Just find out, all right, so, Ms. Brenda, we need a vote.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jennifer,
A yes vote is that
This
you're
means
voting in support of the
not to-
motion to not have it. Yeah.
to deny
Yes.
it.
Yes for no.
Yes.
Yes.
I know, it gets a little sorry.
So unanimously, the council decided that they were not going to at this point. And then they have another process they can do. They just want you to see that there's 2 options. There's a process we have to follow. As we talked about before, we have to do that. I know sometimes that's frustrating, but we have to do process. All right, so we got that piece taken care of. So, with that said, that's correct. All right. Ms. Catherine?
So with that said.
We have 5 different properties we have to read because they were all part of this process in this project. So, Ms. Catherine, if you will, you have 5 minutes.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, summary of ordinance 026004, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning to 14.03 acres more or less, located at Old Preston Highway South in the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 04600000026D from AG Agriculture to IL Industrial, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow, co-sponsored by Councilmember Jennifer Mendez, Councilmember Faith Portman. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 12, 2026, docket number 2026Z-06, and based on the testimony and evidence presented at that hearing, recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of 14.03 acres more or less, located at Old Preston Highway South, also known as parcel 04600000026D, hereinafter subject property from AG Agriculture to IL Industrial. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council held a public hearing on March 9, 2026. Section 3 sets forth the findings of fact, including that although the future land use map designates the subject property for industrial use, the proposed map amendment is not in agreement with the comprehensive plan as a whole due to inadequate access, infrastructure, transition, buffering, and the plan's intended south to north sequencing of coordinated industrial development. The council further finds that even consolidation would not resolve these deficiencies, that the subject property, alone or consolidated, cannot be developed in the south to north pattern contemplated by the comprehensive plan, and that the rezoning would create a fragmented industrial pocket with inadequate buffering and transitions to adjacent residential uses. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council overrides the recommendation of the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map, changing the zoning of the subject property. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement.
All right, so we're gonna read the other 4. And then
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, summary of ordinance 026005, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 5.976 acres more or less, located at 327 Stephen Drive in the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 046 NW005004 from B1 Highway Business to IL Industrial, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow, co-sponsored by Councilmembers Jennifer Mendez and Faith Portman. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 12, 2026, docket number 2026Z-07, and based on the testimony and evidence presented at that hearing, recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of 5.976 acres more or less, located at 327 Stephen Drive, also known as parcel 046 NW005004, hereinafter subject property from B1 Business Highway to IL Industrial. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on March 9, 2026. Section 3 sets forth the findings of fact, including that the subject property is currently zoned B1, that the future land use map designates the subject property to be zoned commercial, that the requested map amendment is not in agreement with the comprehensive plan, and that no evidence was presented to justify a change. Section 4 sets forth the City Council overrides the recommendation of the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map, changing the zoning of the subject property. Section 5 sets forth the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement. City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, summary of ordinance 026006, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 0.75 acres more or less, located at 327 Stephen Drive in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 046 NW005002 from R1 residential to IL industrial. Sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow, co-sponsored by Councilmember Jennifer Mendez and Councilmember Faith Portman. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 12, 2026, docket number 2026Z-08, and based on the testimony and evidence presented at that hearing, recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of 0.75 acres more or less, located at 327 Stephen Drive, also known as parcel 046 NW005002, hereinafter subject property, from R1 residential to IL industrial. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on March 9, 2026. Section 3 sets forth the findings of fact, including that subject property is currently zoned R1, that the future land use designates the subject property to be zoned medium-density residential, that the requested map amendment is not in agreement with the comprehensive plan, and that no evidence was presented to justify a change. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council overrides the recommendation of the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map, changing the subject of the subject property. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement. City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, summary of ordinance 026007, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 25.565 acres more or less, located at 349 Stephen Drive in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037 0000010 from AG Agriculture to IL Industrial, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow, co-sponsored by Councilmember Jennifer Mendez and Faith Portman. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 12, 2026, docket number 2026Z-09, and based on the testimony and evidence presented at that hearing, recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of 25.565 acres more or less, located at 349 Stephen Drive, also known as parcel 037 0000010, hereinafter subject property, from AG Agriculture to IL Industrial. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on March 9, 2026. Section 3 sets forth that the findings of fact, including that although the future land use map designates the subject property for industrial use, the proposed map amendment is not in agreement with the comprehensive plan as a whole due to inadequate access, infrastructure, transition, buffering, and the plan's intended south-to-north sequencing of coordinated industrial development. The council further finds that even consolidation would not resolve these deficiencies, that the subject property alone or consolidated cannot be developed in the south-to-north pattern contemplated by the comprehensive plan, and that rezoning would create a fragmented industrial pocket with inadequate buffering and transitions to adjacent residential uses. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council overrides the recommendation of the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map, changing the zoning of the subject property. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement. City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, summary of ordinance 026008, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of the 8.89 acres more or less located at 758 Old Preston Highway in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037 0000017 from AG Agriculture to IL Industrial, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow, co-sponsored by Councilmember Jennifer Mendez, Councilmember Faith Portman. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 12, 2026, docket number 2026Z-10, and based on the testimony and evidence presented at that hearing, recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of 8.89 acres more or less located at 758 Old Preston Highway, also known as parcel 037 0000017, hereinafter subject property from AG Agriculture to IO Industrial. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on March 9, 2026. Section 3 sets forth the findings of fact, including that the subject property is currently zoned AG, that the future land use map designates the subject property to be zoned commercial, that the requested map amendment is not in agreement with the comprehensive plan, and that no evidence was presented to justify a change. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council overrides the recommendation of the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map, changing the zoning of the subject property. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement.
You went over the 5 minutes.
Sorry.
All right,
Did
but first
great,
of all,
actually.
Should
You
you read
did.
it backwards so that we can say we
all right,
can do
so
it forward and backwards?
we read all 5 of those. What we'll do is on April the 13th, you're more than welcome to come back for everybody that's involved. But then what we'll do is a second reading, and then they will vote. So I want to make sure that you all know that process, okay? April 13th is at 6 o'clock, so put it on your calendar. I know a lot of you will be back here, so we encourage everybody to be here.
And the actual vote will be on the 13th?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So you'll have the council's vote on that day. And first of all, I do appreciate everybody being here. Like I said, I know the sensitivity of it all, but I think it's important for you all to know we want this process. This is for both parties, and it's always like that moving forward. So we want to make sure that everybody's engaged in this, so it feels like everybody's got a voice in this, from both the developer and the residents. So it's important for you all to know that. But Captain, thank you, and we'll make sure on the 13th. At this point, really, the only thing I want to add to a couple of things. I know, first of all, let's bring up the department heads. How about Jody, Craig?
No, we're not there yet, so sorry.
Oh, well, you got your one thing. Come on, we
I'm
got
so
Jennifer's
sorry.
thing. Oh, yeah, I didn't see it on my agenda, because you know why?
I know, because we
You know
just
why?
added it,
All right.
violating the rules.
Do I start?
Yeah. you
Okay, so, of course, I've been working with Catherine on this, the billboards, the lighted billboards around town. Planning and well, Charlie is actually working on a text amendment, but it won't be ready until September. Which, we would be able, once it's done, to look at and possibly tweak it a little bit
Well,
for us,
beforehand,
right?
yes.
Oh, before.
So they're redoing the zoning regulations. He is thinking that they could be done, enacted, September, October. By the time we get what we had discussed done, get it to them, we're looking at maybe getting a month ahead, and then we might adopt theirs. Not to mention, that's a little bit of a delay. So my suggestion to Jennifer was, for right now, since we know that they're redoing it, why don't we just amend the current ones to say no billboards in the city limits, and it will just
Yeah, until we
stop
get-
it all
until we get their text.
until we get this, because they are really looking at changing it, and it might actually be stricter than
Than
what you
we-
guys
yeah,
had
than what we can
considered.
put together.
And that's no more billboards.
No more
No
until.
Until-
Yeah,
Until
no
the
more.
text
Obviously,
amendment.
the ones that are current,
That's a great
they will be
idea. Yeah.
grandfathered in.
And so what she's telling you guys, when you get the text amendment from Charlie, we can either tweak it or go with it. We vote it, and that's what it'll be, our plan. So, I mean, again, it could be stricter. We just don't need any right now, because it just seems like, we're just letting people clutter things up. And we know we need to regulate it, but we don't know exactly where the levels are gonna be yet.
And, they can really do the heavy lifting. They've got a professional company that's, this is what they do, so they know more about the lighting and the height requirements and making sure it complies with state and federal laws. So I say, let's let them do the heavy lifting and us tweak.
Yeah.
So what she would like to do is basically, instead of me doing a whole resolution, because it would be one sentence, is she's going to make a motion
Yes.
that would allow me to go ahead and file the paperwork for that text amendment. That literally would basically say something along the lines of no outdoor advertising signs in the city limits.
She got a motion?
So she's gonna
I'll
make
make
that
a
motion.
motion.
Second?
Second, all right. Ms. Brennan,
already had to say it all. No.
he's ready, huh?
Okay, Bonnie,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Thank you all, and I'll find out from Charlie when he can get me on, and I'll just keep you guys posted on that.
Yeah, definitely look at it. This is something you wanna make sure. If it works, that's great. But if you think it needs more, then we need to do what we need to do for us first. Sometimes it works out good that they have right things, and sometimes we need to tweak it.
And that's what I was gonna say, theirs is looking pretty good so far with the, what they've put together, but if we want it even stricter, we can.
We can tighten it up a little bit. And I think,
When will this take effect?
Well,
Well,
so I can start working on it now. That's kind of why we did it this way. I can work on it now, and as soon as I can, I need to call, I'll call Charlie tomorrow and find out
When we can get on the
if I
docket.
can get on. I don't know if I'll be able to get onto the April. They may already be, their deadline may pass, or they may be full. But I'm gonna, because it's one sentence, that's why I said I could do it much faster. So as soon as I can get onto theirs, and then they pass it, that next meeting I'll come back and we'll be doing an ordinance adopting, so.
Okay, sound good?
Yep.
Sound good? All right.
Yes.
Nice. All right, thank you, Jennifer. Hey, so Steve and Jody, come on up here, since, I don't want you guys to come up alone, it could be scary. You guys work really well together.
Buddy system.
Buddy system we have. Chief, how you doing?
Kinda dangerous, really.
Nah, these two guys are
Jody
good.
here, we're all right.
These two guys are good.
Go ahead. One thing to start off before everybody leaves, if you're going home by way of 480 and Preston, in front of the jail, you can't get through right now. There's been a very bad wreck that is very serious. It's gonna be shut down for a while we do the investigation. So, maybe find a different way around, however you're trying to get there. Last week.
No, it'd be more, it's on our
It'd be more
road.
on, yeah, the artery,
It's
you know,
just-
480 down to 61.
It's just us now, this is
So,
unfortunate,
but the last I heard about a half hour ago, it could be shut down for a few hours, so they'll have to go out there and shoot
So
the
this
scene.
is
and all.
480?
480 right in front of the jail.
Right in
You
front
guys
of
just
the
won't take the interstate, just take it out, it's the easiest way, I think.
Mhm, right at the intersection, yeah.
Yeah, Danielle, I just go 65.
Thank you, Steve.
The other one is just, come out, this weekend for the Vietnam Veterans Parade. We were talking earlier today about plans, cause it looked like it was showing rain last night, and now it's cleared off, so.
But you know what I told you about that, right? If it's good, what's that? What'd he say?
I did.
Don't say rain, don't say
Oh, well, we know that typically doesn't happen around here at any time of the day, so, we'll go with that, so.
Yeah,
You'll
and
come
we
out
do,
and
just so
enjoy
y'all know, we
yourself.
have plans when that stuff happens on 65. We just turn it down a road and,
Well, to put it on some perspective, it's always bad for us, okay? But I ran into somebody yesterday who was from Boston and got to talking about the traffic. And he said, this is good traffic down here from where I came from, so I guess it's all perspective of how you look at it, so. But that's, that's about it. If y'all can't come out, everybody has a good time at these parades, especially the Vietnam veteran, the military parades. We try to do a good job for it, and we're cognizant, we try to get the road open, probably usually about 30 minutes. And then
it's
we
about
make-
a 30-minute parade.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
So,
We don't,
after all these different ones, we've pretty much perfected that route, so, that's about all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me, and I'm sure that my associate here is gonna talk about their latest toy that they got, that they found out. Okay, go
all
ahead.
right. Thank you, Steve.
Council, all we have is just support community events. The new pumpers here, the new engines here. There's a lot of work to be done on it. And then,
Excuse me.
and then we're just working on just finish up in this budget, going into next year's budget. That's it. Any
Well, I
questions,
guess- and-
concerns? We answered your question on, Adam answered your question on the old social media thing.
Oh, yes, yes.
Sorry,
Okay.
just text me directly then.
Yeah.
Stay out of that line of fire.
Oh, it was the little boy who wants to.
Yes, ma'am.
To kind of, yes,
Yeah, we
and I
took it-
put your
we-
names
We
on
took care
there.
of it
So-
from the department page.
So both
Okay,
of you
good.
guys know, 1:30 on Saturday. Take care of him. Yeah, so I'll be there with them. We got him set up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, 1:30. I reached out to her right as soon as you put it out, and so he's, it's really a good story. You don't know about it until you know more about the child.
Yeah.
And but she was really nice about it. We were gonna try to do it Saturday morning, but she couldn't, but we got it scheduled for 1:30.
And
and
then,
then-
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's just, no, this is for the child, and he really likes fire trucks and police
And-
cars.
Yeah, all the
And EMS.
first responder.
So we've got the two, we're gonna take care of him. When he's coming in, I'm taking him over to the police department, we're gonna do all that, and then we're gonna take him to the fire truck, so.
Oh, are they gonna bring like an ambulance over? or anything?
So, no, I think we're gonna try to do some things with the county too. I want them to do two of them. I
Yeah.
want them to do one here and then go do the county.
Oh, okay, go sheriff.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I'll let them do two. So I want them to go do this, and then I'll kind of surprise them on Saturday and say, hey, we're gonna do this again. So I'll reach out to Walt, and they'll take care of all that and get the EMS involved, so you can see that. But it's gonna be a fun time on Saturday, but.
Last thing I have is April 11th, we're doing a smoke detector event again for the
Oh,
city.
yeah.
Major Calvert has a bunch of streets involved. and I can get those to you and send those to you if you're interested. It's on the east side of 44, so, or east side of 44.
I
east side
appreciate
of
what you guys do.
65.
We got a lot always going on. Seems like it's always an interesting, every day you get up and see what's happening next. But like I said, budgets are coming up, and like I said, once they get them, we'll schedule some times with you guys to sit down and talk to them.
Sylvia, I'd like to get that list, if you don't mind.
Sure, Major Calvert has it, and I'll have him forward it to you.
Please,
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. I
So I
appreciate
can
it.
just email him and say, give me the list?
Yeah, I'll even send it off.
Okay.
Yeah, it says all council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Brenda, you want to add anything to this? I know that Sam did her updated things, so I didn't ask her to stay. But what do you got? You got anything more, Miss Brenda? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we forgot to. Yeah, oh, go ahead.
The inside joke was, me and Jody back there, we're at every one of these meetings, and he said, how come nobody ever claps for us after Samantha left? So, he just said that on the way back, and luckily this group heard us, and they didn't leave us hanging and gave us a call.
Thank you all. Way to get that started. All right. So, just, the only thing I want to mention to you all, I'm gonna let the
Brenda,
council.
anything?
What's that?
Brenda, did you have anything?
No, she's
we're
got
near
cats.
the
I asked her
end
about
of
the cats.
budget, And
Yeah.
hopefully that's gonna be soon. Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the audit.
The audit, we're talking about audit, the audit,
still.
so audit is supposed to be,
Audit.
with this one getting done, will actually put us on schedule for the first time in about 5 years. So we've got just a couple things that she's trying to answer out, but we're looking really good on that, so. Finally, we've done, 3 audits in 2 years. Let's try to get caught up here, because it's been kind of a challenge. And then, I do want to mention for everybody here, we've talked a little bit about things, you've seen some progress, this sort of stuff. Town squares, we are still looking at May, but we want to tie that into the veterans. And I want people to know, that town square is an entrance into the park, but that's for everybody's use. If you want to put events on there, there's no charge for that, put something on there. We are going to have the light up Shepherdsville there, maybe an Easter thing that goes with it to the park. But people are allowed to use that area. There's a history of Shepherdsville on the back side of that. So when you walk in there, you gotta go to the back, and it's got to have a bison up front. So don't try to ride the bison. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm talking to me. But anyway, so the history of our, the Buffalo Trails and the Salt River, that was the whole why we got started here. So it's great to know our history. You can see it on the emblem back here. But we also want you to know that bank that's there, it's 129 years old. We restored it. Okay, and we restored it. In the front part, it has kiosks to go in and see what's going on in Shepherdsville and Bullitt County. And so that's the first 2/3. That back section is gonna be for weekly, we're gonna recognize a local artist. They'll put their art drawings or whatever they got, and so you can come in there, if you're, family member, just bring everybody to come see it, because it gives them a chance to show. Again, we always talk about basketball, football, and baseball. I wanna make sure that every kid that wants to excel, we find ways to recognize that, whether it's music, art, singing, which I can't do any of that. But I think it's important for you all to know that's an important part of this. We want kids to really have that value and their passion for things. And then the part that's right there on that green space, that's the Veterans Memorial. It's gonna have all the armed forces. It's gonna have a woman soldier on one side, a man soldier on the other side. It's got nice landscape. It's kind of a retreat. I want you all to know that is for everybody. We know family and friends that have veterans. This is a place you can pay respect. And it's really, I'm very proud of it. And I think it's important for you all to know that. And then obviously in July, the aquatic park is going to be open for our kids and our families. It's a lot going on with it. It's going to be really cool. But I wanted you all to know that because, again, this stuff is happening very soon. And we're excited about that. We're trying to let everybody know. But I think it's what we've been missing. We've been missing that family element here. Again, what did we talk about? It's just you stop and get your gas, get your fast food, you take off down the road. No, that's not us. We got families that live here. So I wanted you all to know that. All right, Bonnie, what do you got for us?
Oh, I wanted to go first.
Oh, Miss Faith, go first. No, go
I just
first.
have a couple announcements.
Yes, ma'am.
First off, let me turn this on.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been helping Bullitt Central's Project Grad, because, I have a senior grandchild, my last one graduating this year.
Wow.
And so they're collecting money to have, project graduation. I donated, co-host a couple of attorneys
I got
into
donations.
donating, and a couple of business owners, but, anyways, if you wanna give me a call, I'll tell you who to make the check out to and what to put in the memo. $20 help, $10 help, don't really matter, but, the seniors, the kids deserve this because this keeps them from being on the street, drinking and driving. We all know, I graduated in '77, what'd we do? Well, drink and drove, So,
So I'm
I
gonna-
didn't, but,
What?
because my parents would have beat my you-know-what.
Right.
let me tell you.
Hey, so just wanna make sure, I did ask her, but it is BC project graduation?
It is BC project graduation, but you make the check out to, Bullet Central, BC softball. And in a memo,
Softball, put the
you
graduation.
put project grad, because
I asked-
they have a
I-
501c3 and they can do it, you know.
So BC,
They do Venmo, and I can get that to you.
so it's BC softball?
Yes.
And then the memo put project
Yeah.
graduation, okay.
And if you wanna give Nikki a check or me.
I am.
Okay,
That's
'cause
all right, I'll bring it
I've got
tomorrow.
3 now I gotta turn in,
Well,
so.
okay. Well, if you wanna arm wrestle your daughter for who gets credit for it, I
She
don't
can do
care.
it, I'm a bring them to her anyways. Be sure to put a card with it if you do. And if you were alumni, cause I'm alumni 1977, not ashamed to tell my age, I love it. You know, Jerry Summers he was first graduating class at Bullitt Central High School, 1971.
Wow.
Scott Wantland did, but he graduated from Bullitt East, so.
Would you work for that too? That's cool, that's cool.
I'd say Bobby
Were
Miller
you the one
graduated, I know.
Afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the next thing I have, this is a little bit sad. I just got a text from Trina. Jerry's dad turned 97 last week. He passed away in
knew
his
it.
sleep today. Which that's the way to go. You know.
97. You live a
97
blessed
years
life. I mean,
old.
yeah. And he
Because I
had-
called her last week and she said, we're off celebrating Jerry's dad's birthday. And I'm like, good, you know, but I
I'm
know, keep
sorry to hear
the Summers family in your prayers.
No, I
And
appreciate that.
I think that's all I have.
No, Faith, thank you so much for
Sorry,
that.
Bonnie.
You're fine, I don't care.
I just wanted to.
All
do
right,
it
Miss
by-
Bonnie, what you got?
Okay, I've got, I don't know what we can do. I know we've had the complaints about 4 and us not knowing to do, but they're at 44 and Adam Shepherd, the people running through the lights and blocking the intersection. I came out from Paraquet Springs to come across, to come here. I had to go all the way around 4 cars to come across. It's getting ridiculous on how bad that is, and we've got to come up with some kind of solution, because people are blowing horns and yelling and getting mad, and we're ending up with a fight out there or some kind of road rage. I don't know what we can do, but we got to come up with something to stop them.
The problem, a lot of that, we need to stop that piece, but there's just no place to put those cars. When you get that congestion about a mile on that overpass there. Yeah, and it's so frustrating. And again, we see that hopefully some of the things that are coming down the pike, we're hearing more that they're starting to pay attention to 44 a little bit after what happened to tragedies 3 weeks ago with that Watergate. And so we hope that that kind of spurs on the conversation to look at Bell's Mill to 65 and a 4-lane. Now, what does that mean? How does that work? I don't know. We're just screaming at them right now. We're more than a squeaky oil when it comes to that, squeaky wheel. Yeah. So we need the bridge on the 480 to 44 east side. We need something here. But getting to this, part of it is that when we talk about from the law enforcement, where do you put the cars? The only thing is we need them to stop doing that in the middle. And I do see that. I've seen that before. So Chief and I'll talk a little bit about it. We'll look at it.
Can we do a citizen's arrest if they're under the light and it's changed because nobody else can go through?
I would not recommend.
I would not, I was gonna say, I wouldn't, Joe, I'll pray for you. I mean, if they're willing to do that, they may make you a speed bump out there. I don't,
You know how many people carry guns in their car?
Yeah.
they're probably,
Hey, if it's not time to go, then
Bonnie, it's a good point. And we'll look at it again. It's been a challenge. I know through the years that law enforcement's looked at it and tried to figure out things, but,
And just to add on Bonnie's, it's not just at that intersection.
oh, it's a dumb.
I mean, I try to get out of West Blue Lick at Preston. I end up now going down to the schools, going around, going down through by St. Aloysius, coming across by Salt River Brewery, and then coming all the way around.
So-
Because you can't, people block all the, not just
So you
one.
can't have a police officer at every intersection.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's.
Well,
it's-
but they're
it's
at that
courtesy.
main intersection,
Yeah, I would,
it's
if we're
gotten
gonna look at anything,
worse.
let me just get with the chief in the morning and
Okay.
we'll do some more conversation. I know
All right.
we've talked about this a few times. It's just never been a real good answer, right? Cause
I know.
you get in the middle of this
Yeah.
mess and people do it all the time. And I know they're frustrated, like, I've waited 30 minutes, I'm gonna get through this light, right? That's what,
Right,
So
exactly.
who controls the timing of the
the
lights?
timing's been, that, we've done that actually, and no, but we've been working with them. We get that worked out till we keep 44 going and 61 going. So those lights are timed max out to make sure it's going east and west and that,
Right.
those are 2 main arteries. And so
I
those
just
are.
didn't know, so in some cities that have, a lot of congestion. What they do is they'll time it where when a light turns red, this light's not turning green automatically. There is downtime where nothing is green because they know that people are gonna be out in the middle, and I didn't know.
So that's not all the time though, so you're doing it for
No,
the
it's
exception, not the rule.
yes.
So you gotta be
And
careful with
So I
that
don't
too.
know how the lights work and
And
if that can be done on between these hours, the lights are this way, I don't know.
Yeah, there's all things that we've looked at. We've looked at the timing of the lights and, obviously, I'll be honest with you, one of the biggest things, we keep talking about it, I know it's gonna sound like we beat on this drum a lot. 119 would be a great fix to have that traffic go that way to get on 65 north and south. Really wish that would have happened when they built it, if they expanded it, Preston, but we're trying to get that back. But that really matters to Shepherdsville. Sometimes when you get 30,000 feet in the air, the state and federal don't look at things like that. We know that we would take about a third of those cars and move them that way, but take that congestion off of 44 and Adam Shepherd and 44 and 65. And we need that. We need some help. We need reprieve. People want to move here. This is a good community, and they want to be here, but the traffic has just been a challenge for us, and we know it is. So I want you all to know that. I mean, when you talk to your friends and family, don't talk to them while they're in the middle of traffic. Wait till you get home, have a cup of coffee, and then talk to them, because they're going to be pretty mad. I'm mad.
Any updates on Bellsmill Bridge?
We don't, the last thing I know that you see some work done there, I don't know exactly where the time is, but, they told us May. I don't see May coming. I mean, I just don't, I wish government worked more like a business. I'm sorry, gotta say it out loud. I said, I'm part of the government.
The piers are up, so.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so anyway, you got
All
more?
right, this is from Linda Roselli.
Huh?
She wants to thank the mayor, the Chief Smith, and a huge thanks to Officer Jeff Shank for helping with the problem that they've had for 12 years at all the parking problems from Bullitt Central over to the business next door. Said that she really appreciated everything that
She's
you
very
all have
welcome.
done to help fix that problem.
Thank you, Chief. And do you all understand what the deal is on that one? So here are people they're parking in the gas pumps. I mean, it's bad if you're parking in a parking spot, but you parked in people's, where they need to give people money, they get gas, so they can pay money to the people. So if it's your family business, would you not be upset? So we got a plan. We think it works, but it's just a matter of, they don't want to be in that traffic, and so they come out, there's plenty of parking space where the seniors park, right? Plenty of room. Get in there and get in the line like everybody else. Do not park in their spots. The first day we did it, I sent 15 people back over to the other side. So we personally went out there and did it, and I did it with them and just explained to them. But each of the businesses have the email of what they were sent from the parents to where you're supposed to park, and they each have my card. So Chief, appreciate that, and Jeff Shank's done a great job, by the way.
Two businesses came in, the owner of the station said it was okay to do it, but then Linda and them came in, and then that sweet shop, and they said they were blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a no. You don't park over there unless you're just patronizing the place. You don't just get to do that.
All right.
Thank you all for coming.
Still got more.
All right, so thank you for that.
I'm
Tell
not
them that
done.
She's not
You're
done.
done?
No,
Come on.
she's got a list.
Okay, I have one
you
citizen
okay
that came into my office today, actually as a customer, but was taking daily walks, enjoying going to the park and the ice cream shop, and then they were going over to Journey Church. And I just wanted to let everybody know that they were talking about how wonderful it was and how much they enjoyed what we've done in town to make it walkable.
Have
and
you all been to
everything.
the park? If you haven't been to the park, you gotta go see it. The First Street side, we've got it done. We put new landscape in. We got walking trails a little bit right through that area. It's really nice. It's the other side when it opens up with and that's September. We should be able to open up the splash pad and playground. And then the amphitheater is gonna be late this year or probably first spring. Cause we get too late into the year, it's hard to put things on when it's cold. But that amphitheater will be available. There'll be free concerts. It'll be for the high schools to use at no charge. This is taxpayers' money. And we're gonna let folks just use this at no charge.
Do you notice how he talks during my time?
You've been pulling a Jose.
No, I don't get to talk, because every time I say something, you got something to say about it.
Did Jillian say that?
No, he didn't say that.
Okay, let's make sure he didn't. Say
Also, I want to know for our budget for this coming year, for the fire department, and maybe the police department too, if we pull them in together, of working to start putting money back for the station to go out 61 and 245.
we haven't done a lot with it recently, but we're looking at, Chief, that's probably a good conversation to have. Let's look at some of that money. And it's probably, we have money if you look at our bank accounts.
Because we need both of them there.
Oh, no, and so, and we're gonna do some stuff, just temporarily, is we're gonna put a police car and an EMS at Station 2, because if we have any problem with the river, we can't get an ambulance to you. So we wanna make sure on that side of the river that we've got it covered, that we can service people. But anyway, so our temporary thing is that, but yes, we need to get back in that conversation. Jody, did you wanna add it? Come on.
We've identified property at 245 in Preston, right next to UPS.
Okay,
With Scott Flynn. So we're already have a lot planned, we already have preliminary, obviously, there's lots of planning.
okay,
So-
cause I
don't know
wanna
what-
I wanna get money in the budget so that we can start working on it, whatever we need to do, because I think it's really essential with us having that other subdivision going in, that we were able to provide the protection that they need.
In fact, Scott and I talked last week about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Just trying to- You keep
And-
going.
One more.
Well,
I'm yielding my time to Bonnie.
Yielding your time. Yielding your time. Right.
We need to develop, I don't know if it's ordinance or what we amend, a text amendment on setting up distances for light industrial and industrial from residential homes. I think that we need to have our own precedents on that so that we don't have to keep going through this again and again. I don't know if we can do that.
Me and Rob had actually met with Charlie about that, and, they are developing again because of the whole new. Regulations and stuff, they are working on it.
What you'll see, though, in the city, this is a very unique situation that we've been dealing with here recently, but most of it centers in the industrial park, and then with what you've seen that's developed over the last 5 or 6 years, that Preston Highway, it's because a lot of that land nobody wants to use. You got a railroad track, it's all swampland, so the only people that will actually get in there and use that land will be the industrial piece. So you've noticed, even before coming in the office, you had 6 of them that you got Arvato and Vista, the big ones, and they Core 5 actually had all that done, and now it's humongous there, right there. After you get to that new interchange, Ohm, it's right there, which is, I mean, it fits going right on Ohm and getting in, so it kind of fits that. But those two are really the only areas. The 3 that we have on Conestoga, don't know why that happened. I mean, JOM's a great a great partner of ours. They do a great job, but that shouldn't be. And the one behind the flea market, no, those things shouldn't be there. You got an industrial park where they should be. Well, you've got 61, that really is most of the area, but you're gonna see some migration, and you do actually have a comprehensive plan that tells you basically from, like I said, Louisville to Bowling Green, is a lot of that area that's right along that corridor is just very convenient for business and light industrial and logistics. Most of the residents should be a little further away from that interstate. This one's a very unique situation with you guys, but I think overall, they should be looking at the planning. But I don't have a problem with that. I think the biggest thing in that, though, what's the reasonable thing? That's gonna be the biggest thing.
Right, what the reasonable distance is, because I've noticed in Lebanon, I don't know how many of you from Lebanon, Kentucky, but they are building, more and more industrial down there, and it's getting closer and closer to the town. They're out in farming right now, and I see that they're gonna eventually have the same issue that we have, is they're going to move into the residential areas and be too close.
Well, I think the thing for us in this county, LJ needs to get in control of this now. It's before it metastasizes into something else, making got designated areas. And I think I'm hoping that between the county and the mayor down there, they've got to really look at that, make it sensible. One side needs to be residential, you can meet with one side of the interstate, but make it fit, because you got growth, and that growth for LJ doesn't have any money to do anything they want to do to revitalize their downtown, or even build a nice playground for the kids down there, right? They don't have any money to do that. We do, and a lot of it does come from that, the manufacturing distribution piece. But how you manage that, they have a good chance, because that wasn't managed 25 years ago, and I think it should have been a little differently. But I think I think these are good conversations, Bonnie, so thank you for that. I mean, I think some of that's really good. Are you done?
To respond, Bonnie, about the regulation itself, they're redoing the regulations now. My suggestion is, instead of us creating it and then maybe adopting theirs and all that, let's see
what they got.
They do.
Okay.
And when you guys go to look at it and or to adopt it, we can look at, okay, and we can talk to Charlie. Charlie is more than open to, if we see something and we want something, us telling him and seeing if they can't make it work on the front end of the regulations versus doing a bunch of amendments.
Well, they told us that they would put the generalized stuff in it, and then once that's done, we could change it.
So if we don't like that, like if they come back and you're saying that's still too close, then at that time, we could do, if they're not gonna change it, they're gonna keep it, then we could do a text amendment.
Okay.
Then, what I will say is you gotta keep in mind that we do have a comp plan and the regulations do have to match that comp plan. And so if you see something, you can't do a regulation
Right.
that essentially makes that comp plan pointless.
Right.
Does that make sense? So you
Yeah.
can't, if you've identified a piece that's supposed to be X, and then you do a regulation that basically says, oh, it's not gonna be that, that's probably going to be, an issue. And so I think, as was stated in the ordinance more in detail, I think the biggest issue here is, for this case was the sequencing. I do think that over time, what you're gonna see, if they start at the south, is it creeping, north, and that is the plan. If it starts, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we'll just have to manage it. And maybe by that time, what you get closer to the residents, the residential pieces, you get a parking lot for the industrial, or you get the retention bin that's gonna be there for whatever, or something, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not a planner by any means, but that would be my thought, since that's coming down the pike so quickly, let's see what they do, and then if we don't like it, but that plan does give us, the comp plan does give us, the buffering and the transitional requirements, but if you're looking for a hard line, then I'd say let's see what they do, and then you guys can tweak it.
Okay.
Just make sure that it's gonna work with the plan.
Yeah, I know there's a sensitivity. We all know it when it comes to residential. We do. We do understand that. And I think that's a struggle when you got a city that's 15 minutes from the airport, right? It's all logistics, and that's what this is from the growth of the city of the last 25 years. Good things are, it does bring in revenue to do the things that we're currently doing, but it also does create that problem. I mean, I know for all residents, I mean, we all know that is a struggle to have it close like that. But then as we look at plans looking forward and we see things over the next 10, 20, 30 years, it'll change. It'll change. But I think for us right now, where we can put these sensitivities when it comes to residential is the biggest piece. Nobody really cares about a building, industrial to the next, another industrial, nobody cares about that, or a commercial building. It's more about what it does when it comes to our residents. So that's a big deal.
I'm not,
You sure?
yeah.
All right. All right. Bradley? You just, you yielded your time to her?
I think she hostily took it, but, no, but since we're talking about transportation, and I think I mentioned this to you, if you're interested in some light reading, KIPTA, the regional, planning agency for this area, it's several counties, Jefferson, Bullitt, Spencer, Shelby, but if you go to their archive library, they have a transportation study for Bullitt County that was published in April of 2010. Bonnie was on the steering committee then as a council member. I was on one of the subcommittees when I was a fire chief, but that was published in April 2010. We came up with a lot of really interesting solutions for what was then future traffic problems and now are current traffic problems, but
Yeah, because we never get there.
yeah, I mean, so if we had put money into, or studies into any of that was published, we might be in a different place today, but, unfortunately, that was never done. So, I just say that to point out that, we didn't get caught off guard. We saw this coming, this was 16 years ago this was published, and, but when you're talking about state roads, you're at the mercy of what the state does with the plans and the input, and so, just say that to say, we did have our, we were on top of it even back then, we just, we didn't have to get the resources to do anything with it, so.
No, I think it's a good point. Also, too, just, Strand, Mark Sneed, who's doing our wastewater, they're actually doing a study again, because we have a new dynamic. It's grown as it is. We want them to study the traffic here. We know certain things we want, like with 119, but we just need them to see it. We just need to find ways to move around this town. There's just not many options when something happens on 65. That crushes us. And then this Bells Mill thing. I mean, it's really magnified it, so I know everybody's upset, but, you know, we're working through what, we wanna make sure everybody's educated though, cause again, the more noise we make in Frankfurt, you know, I don't mind saying this out in the meeting, the more noise we make, it's probably gonna help some of these people understand, we need to get something going quickly, cause we're really needing some roads. So, anyway, Rob, what do you got?
Well, just to add, I was gonna say that, when Jenny and I met with Charlie, we were trying to get like a actual, like a commercial zone between
Yeah.
industrial and residential.
We were trying, yeah,
Still maybe, possibly, but
yes.
Well, there's no
We shall
sense,
see.
we can keep working on it, I think everybody just needs, I think what you guys should know is, we're all concerned with this stuff. I mean, we do, we know it's in front of us, we've been here for about 3 years doing this, and I know Bonnie was on there before, but I think it's important, Faith, you were on it before, but I think it's important that we know what's in front of us, we do wanna have things for families, but we do not forget about traffic and water. Water's not our friend either. We saw the flooding last year, we had to shut down 61, and what did that do to us? I think it was just as bad then with traffic, as Bell's Mill being closed, when we had an accident and we couldn't use 61, I think it was pretty rough. So we understand that, but then we appreciate everybody trying to be patient, we're gonna get there, I really believe that with all the noise we're making. So, thank you, Rob, thank you. Last but not least.
I yielded my time.
Oh, okay, I just was gonna give you a minute.
motion to
We
adjourn.
got really
No,
much, and thank you, Bonnie, because we need more people online with this,
Mm-hmm.
with the whole buffer
Second.
zoning.
Yeah, I think so,
I'm
too.
all about it.
Yeah. All right,
Okay,
I
first.
got a motion
And a second.
and a second.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Faith.
All right, thank you all, and thank you all for being here. We appreciate you being here. Bobby, thank you. Way to keep an eye on Larry.